Welcome to another enlightening podcast from Be Awake, Aware, Alive.com, where we question everything.
We know that touching a tree and grounding for 10 minutes a day is beneficial, so why don't we do it? By the Be Awake, Aware, Alive.com team. Let's be honest with ourselves, we are a collective of hypocrites. If you were to ask any of us for wellness advice, we'd lecture you about the benefits of grounding, earthing, with the fervor of converts. We can cite the studies. We can tell you about the reduction in cortisol, the decrease in inflammation, the way free electrons from the earth neutralize free radicals in the body. We have written glowing reviews of the feeling of bark against our palms and the cool kiss of grass on our bare soles. We have a note in our phones, a perfectly curated list, that reads, 7:30 a.m., 10-minute grounding session. Touch tree. Remove shoes. Breathe. And every single morning, we look at that note, glance outside at the perfectly serviceable tree in the backyard, and we don't do it. Why? Why does the knowledge of a cure so often fail to translate into the action of the cure? Here is the brutal, honest breakdown of why we, yes all of us, ignore the simplest medicine on the planet. 1. The tyranny of the minimum viable dose. When we read that 10 minutes is beneficial, our brains do something sneaky. They turn it into a block of time. We look at our schedules and think, we don't have a solid 10 minutes we can spare right now. We think of it like a gym session. If we can't do the full 10 minutes, with the proper posture, the right mindset, and the perfect weather, then it's not worth doing. We suffer from an all-or-nothing mentality. 10 minutes feels like a luxury when we are rushing to make coffee, check emails, and get the kids out the door. We convince ourselves that if we can't do it properly, we might as well not do it at all. 2. The friction of getting started. There is a physical barrier to entry. For most of us, it's the socks. To ground properly, we have to sit down, peel off our socks, step onto the deck, which might be wet, and walk to the tree. That is 3 steps of friction before we even get to the benefit. Our brains are wired to conserve energy, and our collective brain looks at that sequence of events and says, that sounds like effort. Let's just look at the tree through the window instead. Visual contact is apparently the lazy person's grounding. 3. The performance anxiety. We have commercialized wellness to the point of absurdity. When we think of grounding, we don't just think of touching a tree, we think of a serene, dewy-eyed person in linen pants doing a sun salutation. Most of us are not that person. We are people in sweatpants with bedhead. We feel silly. We worry that if the neighbors see us, they'll think we've lost our minds, hugging a maple while muttering affirmations. The expectation that we must look a certain way while healing prevents us from actually healing. 4. The screen is a magnet. Let's be brutally honest. The reason we don't go outside is that we're still scrolling. The phone is a parasite for our attention. It offers a dopamine hit, a notification, instantly, while the tree offers a serotonin hit slowly. Our brains prefer the instant buzz of the screen to the delayed calm of nature. We tell ourselves we'll go outside after we finish reading just one more article. And then another. And then another. And then it's 8 a.m. and we need to shower. 5. The boredom factor. 10 minutes is a long time to do nothing. When we sit in a chair and look at a tree, our minds start to panic. We think about the laundry. We think about the email we forgot to send. We think about the weird noise the car is making. We have lost our tolerance for stillness. Grounding requires us to be bored, and we are collectively terrified of that void. So, what's the fix? How do we get out of our own way? We've decided to stop trying to be the perfect wellness gurus and start trying to be humans who simply touch grass. Here is the compromise we've made with our lazy, screen-addicted brains. 1. Drop the 10-minute rule. We have changed our goal to 1 minute. That's it. We can all do 1 minute. We step outside, put a hand on the trunk, take 3 deep breaths, and go back inside. Usually, once we're out there, we stay for 5. But by lowering the barrier, we remove the "we don't have time" excuse. 2. Socks are optional, standing isn't. We don't always have to take our shoes off. Can we touch the brick wall of our house? Can we put our hands in the soil of a potted plant on the balcony? It's about contact, not a specific ritual. We've started touching the wooden frame of our back doors as we walk out. It counts. 3. Integrate, don't isolate. We don't have to sit in silent meditation. We can take our coffee outside. We can answer our emails while standing in the grass, barefoot. We are multitasking our grounding. Is it ideal? No. But it's better than nothing. The electrons don't care if we're checking our calendars, they just care that we're connected. 4. Date the tree. Okay, that sounds weird. But let's anthropomorphize our trees. Let's name them. Every morning, we can say, "Good morning, Frank." It makes the act less of a wellness chore and more of a greeting. It feels less like a medical prescription and more like a relationship. We know that touching a tree and grounding for 10 minutes a day is beneficial. We know it because we feel the difference on the days we actually do it. The anxiety settles. The brain fog lifts. But knowing isn't doing. And that is okay. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to be slightly more connected today than we were yesterday. So, if you see us outside at 7:30 a.m. with our shoes off, scrolling our phones with one hand while touching bark with the other, don't judge us. We're trying. And for now, trying is enough. Don't forget to sign up to our mailing list, follow our social channels and open your mind at beawakeawarealive.com.
Thanks for listening to another enlightening podcast from beawakeawarealive.com, where we question everything.